This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. As we see the cryptos, Bitcoin trading at all-time highs for the session, first time above 20,000. So in a sense, a historic day for the cryptos. Let's take a look here at how things are shaping up. Now, it's going to be a brief video. I'm going to discuss the formation that we are seeing here. Here's a stock that moves along the cryptos. We can see it's had a nice run in step with BTC. Now, the issue here is it had a weekly rest right there. Let's call it at about 10 and settled down for only 1 week, which is last week right there. So hope you can see that. Actually, let's zoom in and we can see what I'm talking about. A weekly closing high, and then you have 1 week to the downside. And now we are seeing a fresh break. Now, in terms of minimum requirement, this is not the minimum rest period. What it actually means, because we did not get at least 2 weeks of rest, what it means from a technical standpoint is that this is a continuation of the previous breakout. So it's not a fresh breakout. It is a continuation of this breakout here, which means that it has a high probability of running out of gas because it has not settled down for the required minimum 2 weeks of rest. Now, I trust that makes sense. And actually, we're seeing the same thing with Ethereum. As you can see, after 1 week of rest, it is continuing on with its nice recent gain. Now, what that means is that effectively, this is a continuation of the previous breakout. And again, what that means is that the likelihood of running out of momentum is very high because you need to rest before you go on a very strong push. And here, from a technical standpoint, we haven't seen the required 2 weeks of rest minimum. Now, from a pullback timing perspective, if there's going to be a pullback, the first thing to watch for is if this daily breakout fails. So let's say there's a price reversal and the daily breakout fails, that's going to be a sign of a impending pullback. And also another potential sign for a pullback is if you end up getting negative divergence, especially if the RSI cannot climb and stay above 69.1. I should also remind you, don't expect a severe pullback until we break this RSI lows line. So this is for later. So right now, even if we get a pullback, this line down the road would have to be broken before we can see a major plunge. So it's another way of saying that pullbacks for now are just healthy and shallow until later down the road should we break below this line. And the same thing, same observations on the 4 hourly. I would be on the lookout here for a failed 4 hourly breakout. If there's going to be a pullback, this would have to break below that 1050-ish area. You'd need to see RSI forming divergence. In other words, as prices have improved here, you'd want to see confirmation of the RSI pulling back. And again, don't expect a big pullback in the cryptos until such a time when we break the RSI lows line. And the same thing can be said for Ethereum. We can see here on the 4 hourly, there's a possibility that we are forming divergence because of this improvement in prices. But take a look at your technicals. That could be where we start seeing a pullback. And also we can bring in uniformity, which is my own original concept, which is this break line here. Give us a shallow pullback of some size. So again, we just use the chart itself. There's a pullback here. There's a RSI breaking down there. Take that break line, extend it out. And you can see that the uniformity concept is suggestive and suggesting that this was where we saw short-term resistances as it made recent highs. And now we are back trading exactly on that level. So if there's going to be a pullback, this is how it starts forming. And the same observations, in a sense, can be seen on the daily. As you can see here on the daily, pushing to a fresh breakout here on the daily basis. So if we end up seeing negative divergence, if the RSI is unable to hold and stay above this area, which is essentially around RSI 61.8, then that would be suggestive that this is where actually this move ends up being a nice trap and not really the beginning of a major uptrend. And again, I began the video by stating and explaining that the problem with this breakout in some of the cryptos is that they've only had 1 week of rest. And actually the same thing can also be for BTC. You can see here only 1 week of rest before this recent surge to all-time highs. So it's not fully rested, so that's a problem. In other words, this is a breakout continuation or a continuation move from this initial breakout, which means that chances of running out of momentum are very high because there was not enough rest during the recent 1 week pullback right here. So this is an issue. Now, I have to state, because this is a slightly different situation than Ethereum. Bitcoin, we can see essentially is breaking out above this recent all-time weekly closing high. So this could actually be a fresh breakout based on that concept right here. So we can say that all of this was a rest period after this explosive move. Hope that makes sense. So this could be the base right here from 2018 and now breaking out in late 2020. And for those IBD enthusiasts, one can say that this is a massive cap, 1 week handle, and a breakout. And also, if you take a look at the monthly, right now on the monthly, you can see the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe are met. Your RSI and MACDs are trading exactly where they need to be, above 69.1 on the RSI, and we see that at least one of the MACDs is pushing to new highs. In fact, we can say both MACDs are effectively at new 3-year highs. So that meets the minimum requirements. And as discussed, if there's going to be a pullback, it's going to be the same things we discussed for Ethereum: daily, RSI, negative divergence possibility, and also on the 4-hourly. Same consideration as those for Ethereum on the daily and on the 4-hourly. So if there's going to be a pullback, it seems to me it's going to start around here based on that Ethereum 4-hourly chart as discussed. This here would be an issue. And the fact that the RSI is around 61.8, give or take. A pullback, if it's going to start, is going to start with this look. We shall see. That's it. And here we see Ethereum and BTC effectively trading at all-time highs. As I record this, even Ethereum is moving to fresh 52-week highs. Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. Love light, light love. Namaste.